In this video, I will show you how to deal with the first writing task of the IELTS. Hi, I'm Tsar, and I'm gonna show you some tips that are gonna help you ace this part of the test. First, a general description of this part of the test. In this task, you must write a short text, about 150 words. Try to take between 15 or 20 minutes to do it, counting the 5 minutes of proofreading. This task is worth 33% if I'm not mistaken. A lot less than the second part. Still, you shouldn't ignore these marks because there's a big and tiny difference between getting a C1 only because of task 1. In this part of the test, general IELTS and academic IELTS are totally different. Well, academic writing usually has the user describe, well, a chart. Tables are also pretty common. In some cases, maps are possible too. Or describing a process, a production process generally. All these items aim to check the user's description skills at an academic level or context. The general module deals with more personal matters, as the example right here. You have to write notes, emails, short letters, and usually they are directed to friends, pen pals, or kind of informal things with some teachers or some tiny requests that you should have in case of emergency. So all the options here, or most of them, are set in a not so formal or academic context. However, remember, if you're taking the academic IELTS, it's because you want to study abroad or you need a job. Sadly, general modules are not so useful for certification sometimes, especially if you intend to use it for either work or study. For this video, I will focus on an example based on the academic IELTS. Still, the recommendations presented here apply to both versions of the test. This part of the test evaluates language range and accuracy, so all the items that appear right here. Language is important, but it's really important to complete this, especially the task completion. You need to complete all the parts that the task is giving you. Well, let's imagine us taking this sample right here. By the way, I took this sample from this website right here. So if I were you, I will visit it. They have great samples. And one of the best things you can do is, well, that should be tip number 1. Look for sample answers, which can help you a lot in the long run. Now, the first thing you should do is check the task, not the graphic, the task. Now that you have checked the task and each one of the parts, okay, for example, this one, what do we have to do? Let's check this. The chart shows British emigration to selected destinations between 2004 and 2007. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words. Okay, now we understand the task. Now, I actually have to mention one thing, and is you should take 2 minutes to create a plan, like the list of ideas you want to have. So that's the outline. Outlining can be an edge. And 150 words, you don't have to be exactly 150. I consider that the sweet spot is between 155 and 175 words. That's an okay range. That's more than enough. Remember, I took this example from the website IELTSbuddy.com, and I think it's one of the best websites with writing samples. Okay, so how can we go about this? So we see the graphic here, and Australia definitely has the highest values. Then we have for other countries. Okay, the first part or the first paragraph, what I'm going to do is I will describe it in a general way. Maybe paraphrase the task, and paraphrasing the task can help create a good introduction line for paragraph 1. And showing the particularities is not a good idea yet, just in a general thing. The second paragraph, I will definitely focus on Australia. Yep, it has the highest values, and yeah, we can notice that, like Australia is over the top right there. The next paragraph, well, we can describe the other 4 countries. No, not 4, 3. I mean, Spain, New Zealand, and the US. We can focus on those a little. France is definitely the lowest, so yeah, I'm going to describe France last. That's it. Right after planning, it's time for writing. So this is how your outline should look like. Don't do more than this. It's going to give you a guideline on what to write. Now let's get to writing. Well, I'm not gonna write. I'm gonna show you a sample answer and we are going to analyze it. So paragraph 1, general presentation. The bar chart shows the number of British people who emigrated to 5 destinations over the period 2004 to 2007. It is evident from the chart that throughout the period, the most popular place to move to was Australia. That's it, general thing, nothing else. Paragraph number 2, focus on Australia. Emigration to Australia stood at just 40,000 people in 2004, which was approximately 6,000 higher than for Spain, and twice as high as the other 3 countries, apart from a jump around 52,000 in 2006. It remained around this level throughout the period. So that's it. I mean, I'm focusing on Australia and presenting the other ones. I have to move here, sorry. The next paragraph, we're gonna talk about little things about the rest of the countries. The most popular country for Britons to move was Spain, though its popularity declined over the time frame to finish at below 30,000 in 2007. Despite this, the figure was still higher than for the remaining 3 countries. Approximately 20,000 people emigrated to New Zealand each year, while the USA fluctuated between 20,000 to 25,000 people over the period. Again, it's not a shopping list, and we already mentioned all the countries. We're just missing one, and that's France. Well, that's short. Well, it has to be short, really. And actually, if you see here, the text looks really short. Although the number of visitors to France spiked to nearly 35,000 in 2005, it was the country that was the least popular to emigrate to at the end of the period, at just under 20,000 people. That's it. This is an ideal sample for this task. From that sample, is the graphic fully described? Well, checked. The user presents a variety of grammar forms. Well, yeah, mostly checked. The text is cohesive and connected, and is coherent. Yeah, checked. Great, you win. But you know what? Let's look at example. Let's look at another example. Same exercise, different answer. But let's make it a horrible example, like the worst thing that we can imagine here. Worst case scenario. So let's check this answer, and actually it's quite possible. Just in case. No, I didn't write this. This is a chimera of the worst answers possible, so let's just check it out. This newspaper headline showing a bar chart that shows the number of British people who emigrated to 5 destinations over 3 years. Okay, that sentence has way too many things going, and if it is not punctuation, never mind. Newspaper? They never mention a newspaper here. Anyway, it is evident the most popular to visit was Australia, then Spain, third New Zealand, and finally Italy. That's a shopping list. The USA was the last one with France. Okay, now that person didn't see the graphic. Like, the USA wasn't the last one, it was France. Paragraph number 2. Well, the second paragraph doesn't look any better. In the bar chart we can see France has less visitors than Australia. Well, duh. Spain has more visitors than New Zealand, but New Zealand has more visitors than the USA in all the years. Yeah, that the person only knows how to use present and comparative, so there is no connection between the lines, so cohesion goes down. Next paragraph. Okay, this is definitely giving me a headache. Spain is the most popular place visited in Europe because of their culture, museums, and food. I would love to visit New Zealand too. It has beautiful landscapes. Just like the newspaper, I mean, they never mention these items in the graphic, so why? If it is not in the graphic, don't even talk about it. Well, right. Finally, France received less visits because it can be very expensive to travel to France. You may think that people don't do this, but actually, these mistakes that you see here are pretty common. Like, really common. Yeah, okay, for me the IELTS is a game, so let's go with the video game. 3 lives. 1 hit takes half a heart, so several items mentioned are not in the graphic. Newspaper, food, cost. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Sorry, man. The user was too dependent on comparative and superlative forms. Yeah, that's true, and that's gonna cost you, so sorry. No, now that I remember, he repeated many things, and he mentioned things that are not in the graphic twice. So you know what? Another part of your life down. But hey, you still have one heart. There are no complex relevant structures or clauses. Yeah, the person wrote only like in present simple and comparatives. So yeah, that's half life. Hey, but you're okay. The text lacked cohesion. Yeah, the text was not really connected. Lack of connection is a big problem. So sorry, game over. You're dead. I don't know if it is a good idea to write this in the comments, but try to do it. Try to give me your answer on this one, okay? Don't forget to practice and follow the recommendations I presented at the beginning of this video. Really, it's going to help you a whole lot. Well, that's it. You'll do great in the IELTS, so relax and practice. And just in case you take the exam and you receive the results, tell me how it went. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, it really helps a lot. My sincere thanks for all the support. Tsar out. Bye, take care.